Hello, everybody, and welcome to this episode of Miami Sports Report, where we're going to be breaking down this week 3 against the Buffalo Bills that the Dolphins had, and more of the same, to say the least. So make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe to be able to see all of our videos on the channel. And with that being said, let's get right into it. So, yeah, this is going to be a quicker video, to be completely honest, and the reason for that being is just because I feel like I'm saying the same exact thing every single week, and I feel like I'm going insane. I can only rage so much. I can only, you know, get so angry about things before I just start, really feeling like what is even the point at this point? Because I'm just saying the same thing over and over again. And if they're not going to change it, I'm going to go insane thinking about it and talking about it. So, yes, the Dolphins lost again, 31-21 against the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills have now won 10 straight times at home against us, which they just own us. Josh Allen owns us. Until further notice, the Buffalo Bills own every part of the Dolphins. And I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. So, yes, we lost 31-21. I guess if there's a positive, you could say the Dolphins did come out and fight. It was 21-21 in the third quarter, and they were putting up a pretty good fight. The defense finally started waking up. But then the biggest turning point of this game, and when I was like, okay, we're going to lose, we finally we get a stop. We're gonna receive the ball. If a tie game was 21-21, it was after we just scored the previous drive before. We have all the momentum going. I'm starting to think like, oh my gosh, we might have a chance to win this game because we're forcing them to punt. We get the ball, and Zach Sealer, who is supposed to be like our smartest player on defense, our best player, he's got the captain patch on his chest and everything. Zach Sealer thinks it's a smart idea to go rough the kicker. So they end up getting a first down. They score, make it 28-21. And then, we get the Tua special. He'll turn the ball over. That's the ball game. And yeah, that's pretty much how every game has gone. We've made a stupid mistake at one point, which led to the other team scoring because our defense can't stop anyone. And then Tua gets the ball back and he turns it over. This is now 3 weeks straight of this happening, and it's just getting so hard to watch as a fan. I was livid after the roughing the kicker. I really was, because here I'm thinking like we actually have a chance in that fourth quarter. I mean, we get a stop after we just scored. Momentum starts to, shift a little bit. It's it would be with just enough time, or not just enough time, but we'd probably still give Allen a little bit of time left in the fourth, which I guess that could be your counter if we did even score. Like, oh, Josh Allen probably still has 3 minutes left in the game or something, because we got the stop with around like 8 minutes left in the fourth, and then Sealer made that mistake, so it doesn't even matter. That's just a terrible mistake. And here's the crazy thing. That's the second time we've made this mistake. We made that mistake in week 1, and that was a turning point too, because it happened right before halftime. If we got the ball at half, we could have scored before halftime, get the ball at half. Could have been a different game in week 1 too, but that's 2 weeks ago now. This is now. This is just unacceptable. I don't care how big the captain patch is on your jersey. You cannot make that mistake in a game. That is terrible. That is terrible. In my opinion, that was more crucial than Tua throwing the interception. We lost all our momentum after that happened. So it was just awful. And I was literally sitting down watching the game with my mom. We get the stop, and I don't know why. I just thought of it. I said to her, I'm like, they better not get a rough in the kicker. Like, I said it half jokingly, and then it happened. And I couldn't believe it. And my mom was like, wow, you called that. And I was like, yep, this team is just the most predictable team you'll ever see. You knew Tua was going to turn the ball over on that drive. It was only a matter of time before Tua made a mistake, right? Because that's all he does. He makes mistakes when the game matters most. So yeah, this is going to be a quicker video. I really am kind of tired talking about this team at this point. It's the same thing over and over again. The offense looked decent for most of the game until the end when we needed Tua most. He turned the ball over. Story of the season so far. And the defense looked awful in the first half, but I must say, in the second half, they really turned it on in the second half. If I'm not mistaken, we went 3 straight possessions on defense in the second half without giving up a score until the roughing the kicker, which was really, impressive to see. But it doesn't matter because they'll make a mistake. They'll make a terrible mistake. We saw it in the first half too when Jordan Brooks roughed the passer, and that ended up leading to a score. So it just is what it is. This team's beating themselves at this point. Not saying that, but Buffalo probably wins that game still. I don't know. It could have been a lot different too. It could have scored, and then you give Josh Allen the ball back with 3 minutes in the fourth. Who knows what would happen? It's all hypothetical, but it just really feels like they're stopping themselves from doing anything by making these mistakes like roughing the kicker and roughing the passer and throwing interceptions and fumbling and all these sorts of things. This whole season has just felt like painful to watch as a fan. Yeah, but I digress. One thing that I did like to see was that the Dolphins were finally starting to utilize Ollie Gordon in short down situations. I've been saying this for a long time. He had 9 carries for 38 yards and a touchdown. He had a pretty big game, biggest game of his career so far. So that was nice to see. Tyreek Hill had a pretty solid game. Waddle had some big catches here and there. Devon Achane, who is like the center of this offense, had 12 carries for 62 yards and 7 receptions for 29. So, mind you, probably 6 of those 7 receptions were probably check down passes. So that seems to be our go-to play, is a nice little screen pass, and pray for a miracle that we get anything positive out of it. But I digress. It's just brutal to watch right now. Tua, I don't know what to say about him anymore. I really liked him the last couple seasons, and I was trying to defend him, but I think we're at the point now where you can't really defend a guy like that anymore. Like how could you? He turns the ball over in every single important moment of a game. It's unbelievable. Like that one he threw last night. I'm 90% confident. I've never played competitive football in my life. I'll say that. So, but I think that I could have intercepted that pass that he threw, just because if you look at his eyes, you can see exactly where he's playing. He telegraphed the whole thing. Like you knew exactly where it was going. He didn't try to look elsewhere or at all. He had his eyes locked on his receiver, threw it that way, and it was the easiest pick of that guy's career probably. So it's just low level stuff we're getting from Tua right now. I mean, it took him till like what 4 quarters to get to 100 yards. It took like 20 completions for him to finally break 100 yards. It's just crazy. It's crazy. This is the guy that was throwing for 350 yards not too long, a couple seasons ago. I don't know what's going on with him, but something's got to change. You can't. What's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over, expecting them change. Like you can't. It's insanity. You got to change something. I will say this: Mike McDaniel was definitely on the hot seat going into this game, and I don't think this game was on him. I thought he was making some decent play calls, especially in the second half. He made some adjustments, and looked a lot better as far as play calling in the second half. I really specifically like one play where it was like a third down on that last drive we scored to make it 21-21. There's a play on a third down where he had kind of Tyreek Hill go on a out route, which drew Jalen Waddle off, or the defender off Jalen Waddle, and left him wide open. Seeing plays like that reminded me of the old Mike McDaniel that first came into the league with us. So maybe he's saved himself another week and will be able to bounce back against the Jets. I really hope they can beat the Jets. I mean, I really hope they could beat the Colts, and they didn't. So who knows if we'll beat the Jets or not. I don't really have any reason to be positive. But yeah, that's pretty much going to wrap up this episode. There's only so much I can say without sounding like a broken record. So thank you guys for tuning in. Let me know down in the comments below what you think is going on right now, what changes you want to see moving forward. Just kind of, if you need the vent and rant a little bit in the comments, go ahead and do so. But thank you guys for listening. And like I said, make sure you like, comment, subscribe to the channel. This is Grant, and I'm going to be signing off for now. Have a great week, everybody.